Okay guys, so good morning. And so that's fine, okay. Now the motor could be a resistor also because as I've shown you before, it's just essentially a loop of wire. When I asked you to go down in the laboratory, right? So essentially that's a wire, okay. So if you pass a current here, these two are in parallel. So Nika, what will happen? That's a motor. Essentially that's a resistor then because as I've shown you before, for the motor it's just essentially a loop of wire. So it has a resistance R. So when you pass a current here, what happens here? Nika, what happens? It's just an ordinary resistor. When it naturally follows voltage divider, mga ganun. Okay? Okay. Okay. Now it happens that I will ask again from the 43. This is 120 volts. 43, what's the voltage here? Okay, 120 rin. What's the voltage around the motor? Okay, 3. Potential is just height, di ba? For which is higher? Uh, Table or floor? Okay. But if I have several table in parallel, what can you say about the height of this table with respect to that? It's the same. Field on the coil. Of course, this is 120. You were introduced with Ohm's law. V equals IR. That's a field coils. Okay, it has a resistance of 106 ohms. You can measure that using an ohmmeter or multimeter. So it's always been used V equals IR. Okay, 1.13 amps. Gets ba? Of 53. If the current coming from the source is 4.82, as said from the motor is 1.13, what is the current going through the resistor? You generate the E, the electromotive force by the motor, since it's moving. Okay? So that is 120 minus IR. What is the IR thing? That is, what? You have determined it to be a 3.69 and what? What's the resistance? 5.9. Where did you get the 5.9 is given? Okay. Volts. Okay. Uh, so from the 43, what is power? Power, the power. So again, what's power? That is IV. Okay. Who's that? Hello. I see you in JP. Okay. So what's the supplied current? 4.82. Okay. You multiply it by the voltage, which is 120. So what do you get? 578 watts. Okay. So normally everything is rated in watts. Now, what are the power that's being lost? Okay. You have calculated that. What's what's the current? That is 1.13 and 3.69. Question. What is 3.69 plus 1.13? That is your supplied current, which is 4.82. If you plug in the IR here, can you see that the equation is I squared R? Yun. So you just need to plug in the formula. Okay? Minus the losses. Why are we losing power? Because of the heat. Diba? You generate it from your wire. It has a resistance R, 106 and 5.9. So that's the useful power that you can get. Okay. Previously, we have calculated that the electromotive force generated is 98.2. What happens if you multiply the 98.2 with 3.69? Remember, power is just IV, as said by the 43 group. So, what is your current? The current is 3.69. Where's that? Motor or resistor? 53. Where's the 3.69? Okay, motor, sabi ni, what's your name, girl? Forgot. Okay. So, you multiply it, it's just IV. Okay, you have calculated that the EMF or the electromotive force 98.2, so you get the same wattage. It's just a resistor. It could be modeled as a what? Wire, which has a 5.9 ohm resistance. Determine the magnetic field B. Last time, we have determined what? Magnetic force. As I told you, it's the cross product of, it's directly proportional to the cross product of what? Okay. Now, take a look at this. Your magnetic field product of velocity of the charge and the, what's r hat? Unit vector that's directing towards the initial to the final point. And inversely proportional to the r squared. Sounds familiar, right? Gravitational field is also like field is inversely proportional to r or r squared. R or inversely proportional to the distance squared. Can you imagine if you try to cross yung B towards the R, where's the direction of your what? Magnetic field vector B? Can you agree that that is the direction of the blue arrow? Try to cross it there and your thumb points to the B. Can you imagine? Nika, can you see that if you cross your B towards your R, your thumb points to the correct direction? And if you try to move your velocity vector towards R, you'll get the position of your B. Can you do it? Yung R is from the initial to the final point. Your fingers now will curl to the direction of your magnetic field B. Can you see it? You can do it so in so many ways. And okay, remember the units conversion. And okay, Tesla. In honor of Tesla. Okay. Okay, may I have the attention of the 53 class? This is your velocity vector. If you try to rotate your B towards your magnetic field vector B, just like this one, because it's a cross product, do you agree that it will point upward? Erica says yes. How about the others? Later on, when you practice in your head, you don't need to do the hand thing. Have you seen a screwdriver? If you rotate it, where will it advance? Where will the screw push through? Forward. But if I want to unlock it, I turn in the opposite direction. As you can see, mechanically, it's also the same thing. Okay? Curling. What are you essentially curling? Force N. What? Your perpendicular distance. Okay? R cross F. If you do the R cross F thing, you R towards your F, the rotation, your thumb will point to the torque. Where will it go through? Okay, forward or backward. Just like turning the knob of the door. Okay. Oh, you want to exit my class? Oh, turn outside. Oh, yan. You want to come in? Oh, you lock the door. Okay, how do you find the magnetic field B? So from the formula, that's the velocity cross r over r squared. Okay? You just put that in. It's indicate the direction. Okay? How about for your velocity? Negative v. But negative v? Because it's opposite the x-axis. You know. Correct? If you follow the math, I cross k is negative j hat. Okay, negative times negative is a j hat thing. Mathematically, that is the way to do it. Pero you can imagine it physically. Sir, it's just pointing upward. Okay? That's what it said. It's j hat. Okay, by Cholo, this is what? Inversely proportional to the r squared. Can you recall that? 1 over 4 pi epsilon is your key. So far, you have questions? Now, the logical thing is, if you divide this 2, what will you get? Can you see this? It's just dividing your magnetic force and your what? Electric force. You can say EOUO multiplied by V square. Yeah, important quantity which is equivalent to what? Inverse the speed of light. Okay? For the 53, that's very important because this yields your Maxwell equation. Normally, you will have a deeper discussion of this when you touch electromagnetics, okay, or electrodynamics in a higher course. What can you see? What can you say about the ratio of the magnetic force with respect to the electric force? You divide it by c square. C is already large, and you try to square it pa. So what can you say about the ratio of the magnetic field with the electric field? Small. It's negligible. That's why you're just using V equals IR without, you don't care about the magnetic effect anymore. Because as you can see, it's nothing. That verifies your V equals IR thing. As you again, for the what? For the 53 again. Okay, VO and subvert. Although, follow link here 43 because we have one item for the quiz that is VO and subvert. Okay. What's the normal thing that science do, physicists? Or they want to derive this equation relating these geometric parameters to do what? Magnetic field be generated. As you can see, if you have a different geometry, you have a different generated field. Ganun lang. For the 43 class, I think you'll just get a sensor then put it somewhere there. So you try to find the magnitude of it. Okay. Okay ba kayong discipline? Okay, so this is your B. You have a wire here. This time it's not a charge anymore. Kasi it's very practical for us to measure the whole charges that's flowing there. Might as well use a convenient unit such as what? Collection of charges or current. Okay. What's dB? From the formula, you just create a D. In mathematics, when you're creating a D, means that you're making it small, not differential. Okay. So small charge corresponding to a small field. Gets? Write r square there. The velocity, write it there. Why do you have a sign? Sir, because it's a cross product. Okay? Where's the r now? Kasi everything reduces but to itself. Oh, this is mu over 4 pi, this is mu over 4 pi, this one is q just being represented as dq because you have a dv. This one is r squared. This one is your velocity. You have a sign because it's a cross product. And where's the r? 53. 43 you can help. Oh, alam mo. Where's the r? Where's the r? In physics 1, where you taught about vectors? Yes, probably. That's why you know I hat, j hat, and k hat. What are the magnitudes of I, j, k? 1. Okay, so I will ask you again, where did the r hat go? It's 1. Okay, correct, Cholo, that's 1. It only means that this r hat specifies that your direction is from the initial point to the final point. Its value is 1 because it cannot modify your magnitude, but it's just... Okay, very good, Cholo, yes. Okay, so your dq is what? Cross-sectional area of your wire times your differential segment. So dl. What's that? Volume. Okay. Your n, that tells you the number of charges per unit volume. So if you multiply it by the magnitude of the charge per, ayan, per the magnitude of the charge q, what do you get here? That's your dq. Can you visualize? Charges per unit volume, that's your n. You multiply it by the magnitude of the charge and the volume, naturally you get the charge. Okay? So you put that in for your dq. Gets? What's current I? Can you see that that's I? What's I? I is current per... sorry. I is current, but I is what defined as charges per... Okay, charges per second. Velocity has that kind of unit. Distance over time, right? If I multiply the distance by the cross-sectional area, I get volume over time. But n is what? Number of charges per volume. So automatically the volume cancels out. So it's the number of charges multiplied by the magnitude of the charge. So this one is charge per unit, total number of charges per unit, time, which is I. So you have this one. You have a question? So the formula of Dio and Sabart, I think both of them have collaborated such that they have found this law. It's valid for all the what? For the field generated by your wire. All you need to do is multiply 3 things: the constant, the current, and your wire length. We'll have a separate experiment for this, okay? For you to see. Have you seen your video before? There are wires there. Then I don't know whose hand that is. He puts his magnetic field sensor, then it will generate a value. Then through calculations, you try to find out if the calculated value is the thing that you measure also. Simple as that. 28.3. Okay, what's being asked? The distance where you have a magnetic field value of 0.5 times 10 to the negative 4 Tesla. Sir, that's easy. You get a magnetic field sensor, then you try to search for the distance wherein you'll get 0.5. Expediting, so you want to calculate it first. Okay? You don't do that, you want to calculate. Okay? So take a look at this. You have this wire. 43 you have to do this. Okay, okay, so as illustrated by the book, you have a long straight wire. And again, that's one of the If you bend the wire in a different shape, semicircular or quarter circular, of course it results to a different magnetic field. But here it's much easier to do this. Okay. First question: how do you use Biot-Savart formula? That is IDL cross R hat over R squared 4 pi epsilon naught. Gets ba? Okay, first part of the thing is the current constant? Probably yes, because that's the thing that you measured using your ammeter. So you can take out the I. So you have no question, mu over 4 pi I. Nakasulat yan, di ba? Okay. What is R squared? From the figure, that is just square root of x squared plus y squared. Can you get it? Okay. X squared plus y squared. Sir, the power is 2. How come the power here is 1.5? Yun na. Okay, so remember, this one is DL cross R, right? Your DL, okay, cross R, there's a sign there. Can you see the sign there? Yes. Because that is the mathematical operation for a cross product, for that product cosine. So I have to think of a sign. Can you see the sign now? If I curl your length towards your R, this is your angle, right? But I have to convert it to something that is integrable. Okay? Your sign is normally what? Opposite over hypotenuse. Do you understand? Opposite over the hypotenuse. Therefore, there is a square root of x squared plus y squared. There's a 0.5. Where's my DL? Dean's list. I have told you that the reason for the 1.5 thing is simply because you incorporate the sign, because it's a cross product. Where's the DL now, the Dean's list? For the 3 group, you can help. Where's the DL? Nika, do you have questions for RB? How about the rest? Now, your book is so helpful. From here, he was able to synthesize this one. I have written the details here. Let's try to just to go through your math. I have written the integral here. Just follow na lang. Just for information. How do you do this? We're evaluating this one. So I just write it down. This one here. How did I put something like this? From your math prof, what will he do? Hey, this is algebraic. How come it's reduced to something like trigonometric form? Okay, trigonometric substitution. Yeah. Can you see the details? If I represent the y to be x tangent theta, then I take the derivative, you get x secant squared d theta. Yes. Again, you don't need to do that in the test. If you have successfully written the first part, that's okay because I'm not teaching math. Okay? Just for info. Can you see it now here? Replace your y by this x tangent theta. And this dy by this. Can you see it? Okay. Next line. Ito, wala. Just factoring lang to. Can you see it? Next line. 1 plus tangent squared is secant square. Can you see it? Okay, 1 over second is cosine. Hey, it's just a cosine lang pala. All of those things that you put there is just a cosine. The integral of that is sine, you evaluate it from a to negative a. Gets, what is sine? Opposite over hypotenuse. Y over x squared plus y squared. Then you put the a. A minus negative a is 2a. Yun. That's why the book was so successful in getting the 2a thing over x, so square root of x squared plus a square. Look at the table of integrals, but if you don't have, then it's fine for me. You have this one. The first line is the most important one. Actually, you can type this in Wolfram, then he will give you this answer. Okay, next question. What happens when your wire is long? This is the question that is being asked by John. What happens when your is infinitely long? That is, imagine that if you approach infinity for your long straight wire, because that's natural, your wire is long, you just loop it in your armature core for your motor. Okay. Can you see this? Near a long straight current carrying conductor. Guys, can you see that? Are you sure? Where did the R come from? If you said that you saw it, where did the R come from? If A approaches infinity, where did the R come from? That is effectively what letter? Ayun, narinig ko na. Ano? X. Okay, that's your X. This one. Okay. If you approach infinity, one of these X is normally negligible na, diba? So you take the square root of A squared, that's still A. A over A is 1. So what's left in the topmost portion is 2 over 4, that's 2. Your X is left in. But might as well, what's X ba? The distance from your wire. So might as well replace it by R. That's also a natural choice because your radius is your distance from your wire. Yes? Okay. So that's it. Utilizing your Beer-Savart law, you were able to extrapolate what the formula for a long straight current carrying conductor. For your sake, you just memorize that the formula is mu I over 2 pi r. Don't use Beer-Savart law. Can you try to use the value for your problem? Input the value 0.5 and 1. For mm. And plug in the value and see if that is 4 mm. Of this in the magnetic field regime. Your electric field is being replaced by magnetic field, naturally, because we're talking about magnetism. Instead of a cross-sectional area, more natural is to represent it through a line. Right? Again, it's a very simple way of writing your magnetism. Your E is replaced by V. Cross-sectional area is replaced by length. proportionality constant, E or epsilon replaced by U, and your enclosed charges is being replaced by enclosed current. Can we recover the formula used by BU and Sabart? Yes, because if you have this wire, can you imagine if you try to curl your fingers, where's the direction of the charge? Outward or inwards the page? It's a dot. Okay, as said by Cholo, that's outward, and as taught by the teacher, where is the magnetic field B? That's the direction of your fingers. So do you agree that that is what? Counterclockwise, Cholo? Yes. Okay. The line in which that is parallel, remember that product is what? Cosine. It must be parallel to that. So, for every point, you can see that the tangent is your magnetic field B. Therefore, the angle between them is 0. Cosine 0 is 1. So, you don't see the 1 anymore. Okay? But what is the total length? 2 pi r. It's very easy for Mr. Ampere. He was able to recognize that. You can see the symmetry prevents it from being used. Different symmetry, you have to use what? Computers to simulate the actual magnetic field B. You write the code. Okay? For example, here, di ba may R squared? When you put that in the code, you use a distance formula. Then the computer iterates that for every point in space. Yan. Okay, but for you, just remember this. Okay. Yeah. Before we leave, let's try an application of that. We have two wires, wire 1 and wire 2. Okay? Question, what is the magnetic field B at P1? Try to curl your fingers as Cholo suggested, much easy. You can see that your fingers is curling down, so it's okay. Can you see that? Okay. How about for wire 2? Do you agree that the magnetic field generated by wire 2 is up? You point your thumb towards the board. Where does your finger curl? Upward. Can you see it? Therefore, using your formula, what is the thing that you're going to modify? R. Here you replace the, what's the distance here? Your R is 2D. Here, what's the difference? What's the distance? 4D. One is negative and one is positive. You use your algebra. Okay? You push the 2 and the 4 here, and don't forget to take note of the correct symbol. Write the formula first. Yeah. 43, do this because I'll check this one before we leave it. Alright, first mu I over 2 pi r. Then, one of the distance is 2, one of the distance is 4. Then you try to put that. Then try to incorporate the proper sign. Then you take the summation. What is the resulting fraction? When it was obtained. Cholo, I see confusion in your face. This is 2, right? So 2 times 2, that's the 4. The reason why it's negative is because it's below. Right? the total distance here is 4. 4 times 2 is, because we have 2 at the bottom eh. Now, the reason why it's positive is because it's up. Negative 1/4 plus 1/8 is, taran, negative 1/8. Gets how intelligent my students are natin eh. Okay, so we continue. We answered the second one. Okay, find an expression for B in P2. Okay. So as you can see in the second point, the two magnetic fields reinforce each other. So again, you write your equation mu o I over 2 pi r. You replace the respective radius by b, because that's the distance for point 2. Then you take the summation of that, and we'll try to see if your answer is correct. Let's continue. How about that point 3? Again, you do the same. You put the corresponding distances, and then you take note of the proper sign. One is upward and one is down, and then you take the summation. Okay, so there are two wires. What's happening in the two wires? Recall that your formula for your wire is mu I over 2 pi r. We have solved that using Biot-Savart law. Then after some simplification, it was realized by Ampere that it's a simple mathematics, okay, involving the dot product of the magnetic field B and the line wherein it is circulating, which is 2 pi r. The line is simply the circumference of the circle. Okay. If you would remember, the magnetic force is what? Cross product of the so that is the length cross B. Okay? Have you remember? You have derived that before for your motor, which you have seen that is rotating. Okay? That is IL cross B. Okay? And we have determined proper direction for that. And I have shown you through the right hand rule where the direction is. It could be clockwise or counterclockwise. Now, take a look at the sample again. This is your eye passing through. Then, there's a magnetic field generated in this direction. Can you see that? If you point your thumb towards the direction of capital I, your fingers curl to the direction of B. Yes. Oh, all of you done it properly, okay? Now, since this wire is exposed to magnetic field B, and there's also a current that is passing through, if you point your fingers there, and you try to turn your eye, or the length, that's the length, towards magnetic field B, do you agree that the force is downward? Try to turn your L, which is in the direction of your current I prime, towards B. Did you turn it? This is the direction of your I prime. You turn that to B. So once you curl that, where does your thumb point? Up or down? This is your DL or I prime. That's your L. That's the length. Okay? If you try to curl the length towards the B, because that is cross B, do you agree that the force is downward? Do you see it? Or more or less, you see that the force is towards the other wire, so they attract each other. Okay, and your length is what? Cross to B, you get the force that is towards it. So if you replace the B there by mu I over 2 pi r, do you get the equation? Yes. I over 2 pi r, so if you substitute that, you'll get u I prime L over 2 pi r. So if you try to substitute for the data, that's 15,000 amperes, that's 4.5 mm apart. Using your calculator, can you try to see that that is 1 times 10 to the 4th Newton per meter? Guys, calculator problem lang. Just for consistency, please push that in your cycle. Pause muna. Later, I've asked the assistant to have a simple setup for us to determine if this is true. Okay. And that is one of the principles behind the bullet train in Japan. Okay. Try to read this first. Okay, so this is one of the problems, just like before, when we have the sphere. But this one, the symmetry is cylindrical because we're applying Ampere's law. Now, we try to find the magnetic field generated inside and outside the cylinder. So it could be a wire. Okay. Now guys, J, what's J? That's current density. But instead of mass over volume, the natural thing for you to do is current over cross-sectional area. Because the current passes through the area. Okay, so you see that that's the ratio of r squared over capital R squared. Do you get it? Okay. Guys, don't forget this very powerful equation proposed by Ampere. That's why the unit for current is Ampere. If you are a very successful physicist, somebody here, so there will be a unit that will be assigned to you. Diba? Andreas unit. Ampere's unit. Yan. So, what is the length? Sure, that's 2 pi r. Okay. What is the enclosed current? You have successfully found that out. That is the ratio of small r squared over capital R squared. You put that in. And then if you try to divide that, can you see this? Using algebra. Yes, sir, because you will just divide the small r. That's why there's just one r at the top. Is it clear? Just divide this 2 pi r here. Cross multiply. You'll eliminate one of the r, so that's mu I r. Do you follow? What have you noticed? The graph of this is line parabolic, hyperbolic. What? It's what? It's linear. Ayan. Why everything is a constant? Mu is a constant, your current supplied is a constant, r squared is a constant, the radius of your cylinder. When you go outside the this cylinder, what do? You replace the small r by what? Capital R. So what happens? One of the R will cancel, then what is reduced here at the bottom is just R, capital the surface. It's best for you to replace now the capital R with small r. And so what's the behavior of this thing? Is this linear, hyperbolic, parabolic, what? Okay, inversion. You get it? Try to read problem number 10. Yan. Okay. So have you read the problem? It's essentially like this. You have a circular loop of wire. Just like in the demonstration of the motor, it's turning, diba? The lab assistants have made several turn of circular loops. Then when a current passes through, exposed to a permanent magnet, it turns. So this time, we are asked, what is the magnetic field around or near the vicinity of this ring? Okay? Let's see. Guys, you remember this. BU and Sabart. Your quiz will just concentrate on three formulas, BU and Sabart, Ampere's law, and Gauss' law. First question, why did I put the I outside the integral symbol? Because as stated by JP, that's a constant. No? Ganun lang. Okay. Why x squared plus a squared? Yeah, okay. As stated by John, x squared plus e squared is just your resultant. Very good. How about for the DL? Sir, just copy that. Okay. Where does the R hat go? It's 1, as stated by Jolo. So in the exam, if you have successfully written this, never mind about the other things. I'll give you a full point already. Because you have to understand the concept. That's a physics here. The other ones are just what? Math. Oh, the question is, why did I modify it to something like a over square root of a squared plus a square? Sorry, this one is 15 points and this one is 5. Because there's also physics here. Why did I write something like an a over x squared plus a squared raised to 1/2? You have gone through vectors. Why is it? Sine? It's a cosine. Okay? The magnetic field B is what? It's not rectified in the x or y direction. There's a component. Okay? But as you notice, the y component is simply 0. Can you see that? Because at the top portion, the magnetic field caused by y is upward. At the bottom portion, it is what? Downward. But, cancel. But the x-axis reinforce each other. Diba? Okay. That's why I have to account for the cosine part. And the cosine is just simply a over the hypotenuse. Do you get it? Do you get it, Erica? Oh, yun. If you are finished there, that's a full point. The rest is integration. Okay, how do you integrate this? So you just put that in. You have no question why it's 1.5. Yun. Because from the denominator. Okay. Incorporating cosine function. Question, why is everything put outside the integral symbol? Because, yes, because our, as said by Nigat, our integration variable is L. So everything is a constant. And this time, your integration is not that strenuous, just what? Integral of dl, which is L. Okay? And what is the integral of dl? 2 pi a, circumference of your ring. Do you understand? That's why the 4 is reduced to 2 because you have a 2 pi a at the topmost portion. The pi cancels out and you have an a square. Do you understand? Do you understand, guys? Medyo ano ko eh. Hearing defect, I cannot. You can try that. You can have an experiment like that. That's just I'll ask the assistant to form a loop of wire, several turns of it, and then there's a magnetic sensor. You place it near it. You'll notice that it's a lab pro interface, so you'll get the plot of the magnetic field versus your distance, I think. And you'll notice that is like this. Yan. Okay? Just like in the video that I have shown you, some hand will put it in the center. There are 2 rings there, diba? It happens that the field there is constant, not this one that's decaying function. So we'll modify. This time I don't want to place 2 rings, I just 1 ring. Then you just try to explore it there. Okay? You have a question?